Your dog is aging faster than you think. Not dramatically, not in a way that announces itself with obvious change. Quietly. In a way most owners only notice when they look back and realize something shifted months ago, and they did not see it happening in real time. The story we have all been told about dog aging is wrong. And the real timeline, once you understand it, changes the way you see every single day you have left with them. There is one thing your dog needs from you as they get older. Not a supplement, not a new routine. One thing. And most owners are not giving it to them. Not because they do not love their dog, but because nobody ever explained what your dog is actually experiencing as the years pass. Stay with me, because what I want you to understand by the end of this video is something you can start doing today. And it will matter more than almost anything else. Most people grew up believing dogs age 7 years for every 1 human year. It is the kind of simple equation that sticks because it is easy to remember. It is also not accurate. A landmark study published in the journal Cell Systems used DNA methylation analysis, the same method used to measure biological aging in humans, to map how dogs actually age relative to humans. What they found was not a flat 7-to-1 ratio. It was a curve. Dogs age extraordinarily rapidly in their early years. By the time your dog is 1 year old, they are biologically closer to a 15-year-old human. By 2 years, closer to a human in their mid-20s. The aging then slows in middle life, but accelerates again in the senior years in ways most owners are not prepared for. Your 2-year-old dog was not a puppy grown large. They were already a biological adult, moving into the years where the cellular machinery of aging begins to show its work. And most owners are still looking at their senior dog the way they looked at them the day they brought them home. The math we were given does not prepare us for the actual pace, and the pace does not slow down. Dogs descend from animals for whom showing weakness in the wild meant becoming a target. That survival programming does not disappear in domestication. It becomes invisible. Your dog will mask pain, discomfort, and physical decline with a thoroughness that can fool even experienced veterinarians. A study from the University of Veterinary Medicine, Vienna, found that owners significantly underestimated their dogs' pain levels in structured assessments. Even owners who described themselves as highly attentive to their dog's behavior. The dogs were not performing wellness. Their biology was actively suppressing the signals of distress that would, in the wild, have made them vulnerable. What this means for you is that by the time your dog shows you they are in pain, by the time the limp is obvious, by the time they stop jumping up, by the time they withdraw from activities they once loved, they have typically been managing that pain quietly for weeks or months. The absence of a complaint is not the same as the absence of pain, and your dog cannot tell you the difference. Your older dogs started doing something strange. They stand in a corner and stare at nothing. They walk into a room and seem to forget why they came. They wake in the night and appear disoriented. They greet you at the door and then look confused about what comes next. You called it getting older. You called it just being a senior dog. It has a clinical name. Canine cognitive dysfunction, sometimes called dog dementia, affects a significant percentage of dogs over the age of 10, and early signs can appear as young as 7 or 8. A study published in the Journal of Veterinary Internal Medicine found that CCD is substantially underdiagnosed because the early behavioral signs are mild enough that most owners normalize them as part of natural aging. The dog that seems confused, the dog sleeping more and engaging less, the dog whose personality has shifted quietly over the past year. These are not just signs of getting older. They are potentially symptoms of a progressive neurological condition that responds to early intervention. This is worth a conversation with your vet. Not because something is certainly wrong, because the window for the most effective support is early. And early only happens if you are paying attention. And if this is changing how you see your dog right now, go ahead and subscribe to Pause and Purpose. Everything on this channel is built around what the science actually says about the animal you share your life with. Hearing loss in older dogs is nearly universal, and it happens gradually enough that most owners do not notice until the dog stops responding to their name, and they assume the dog is ignoring them. Vision changes follow a similar pattern. The lens of the eye stiffens, peripheral vision narrows, low-light navigation becomes harder. Your dog is not being stubborn when they do not come when called. They may not have heard you. They are not hesitating at the stairs because they are being difficult. They may not be able to see clearly what is ahead of them. Research into sensory decline in aging dogs has consistently shown that dogs adapt to gradual sensory loss with remarkable resilience. But that adaptation has a cost. It increases cognitive load. It increases anxiety. It increases the energy your dog spends navigating a world that has become less legible to them. Your dog's world is getting smaller. They are managing that without complaint. And the most important thing you can do in response is not to change everything around them. It is to stay consistent, predictable, present. Which brings us to the one thing. It is not a supplement. It is not a new bed or a specialist diet or a jacket for the cold. It is slow time. Specifically, slow time with you. Research into the psychological well-being of aging dogs has found that the single strongest predictor of quality of life in senior dogs is not activity level, dietary intervention, or veterinary care alone. It is the quality and consistency of the bond with their primary owner. Dogs with secure, attentive bonds with their owners showed significantly better behavioral health outcomes in aging than dogs in households where the bond had become more transactional. Walk, feed, sleep, repeat. What aging dogs need from you is not more stimulation. They are often overstimulated by a world they can no longer fully navigate. What they need is more of you. Specifically, calm you, still you, the version of you that sits on the floor beside them without somewhere else to be. Your dog spent their whole life reading you, adjusting to your schedule, absorbing your stress, showing up for every version of you that walked through the door. As their world gets smaller, as the things they can do become fewer, as the days they have grow more finite, what they need most is for you to show up for them the same way. There will be a last walk, a last car ride, a last time they press their nose into your hand the way they always have. You do not know when those lasts are coming. Neither do they. But every day between now and then is one you get to spend with them. Be in it, not with more activity. With more presence, that is the one thing. And you already have it. If this video gave you something, hit like and subscribe to Pause and Purpose. Leave a comment telling us how old your dog is right now. Because the more clearly you understand what your dog is actually going through, the better the time you have left together. And they are not asking you for much, just for you to be there.